Now remember one thing. Now the Christians here who speak Arabic, read Arabic, and even the Muslims admit these diacritical pointing to show whether the word is in the subject, nominative, or if it's in the accusative. That was added later. If you just had the consonantal text without what they call the tashkiyah, right? These are the diacritical points that were added later to show you whether the word is nominative, meaning is it the subject, or is it accusative, the object? Those were added later. So if all you had was the consonantal text, you end up with Allah and Jesus being the one Lord that all Muslims must worship. That's chapter 9, verse 31.
Yep, along with Allah.
So in the Surah As-Sad, which is 38:5, it says that Muhammad is making, this is the people are saying, the Quraysh is saying that Muhammad making all gods into one Allah.
Yes, that's what he did. That's actually what he did.
So, yeah, so does that mean like Muslims usually say, oh, you're just translating or misinterpreting, or it's a mistake, right? So it's not actually. Maybe the angels and all of them truly, like Muhammad believed at the beginning, maybe it's part of the divine council or something?
No, well, here's the thing. You made an excellent point. I wrote an article on this. Even Ibn Taymiyyah, for those of you who don't know who he is, Ibn Taymiyyah was considered, he's very controversial. If you're not a Salafi, you don't like him. But Salafis love him. They swear by him. Ibn Taymiyyah was the teacher of Ibn Kathir and another renowned Muslim scholar named Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah. Ibn Taymiyyah, for Uthman and for other Salafis, he's one of their greatest scholars over. They love him. They call him Shaykh al-Islam. Now he's controversial, and he spent most of his life in jail, and he died in jail. And so other Sunnis don't like him much. They think he's a heretic. But be that as it may, when he was asked the question, because he has what they call fatawa, religious rulings and opinions, right? I wish they translate that in English. It'd be a goldmine, because Ibn Taymiyyah also confirmed the satanic verses. He said it's historical. He said it's historical, and he tried to use it to prove the veracity of Muhammad. But anyway, he says that the reason why Allah speaks in the plural, us, we, and our, is because he's including the angels alongside of himself. Do you guys know that?
No.
In other words, he argues it's the divine council motif. You know why? Don't let Muslims deceive you. Challenge them. There's not a single shred of historical, archaeological, textual evidence that in 7th century Arabia, or even before, that Arabs use the royal plural. It doesn't exist. It's a lie. They're lying to you. So to challenge them, say, okay, show me that. Show me in sources, contemporary with the Quran or before, where the plural was used in a majestic sense, the royal plural. Show that to me. They can't. It does not exist. Now, moreover, did you know that even the royal plural backfires? Because the royal plural refers to a sovereign, a ruler, a king, speaking on behalf of his court, his council. So that still ends up proving the divine council motif. Why do you call it the royal plural? Like when the Queen of England says, we are not amused, who do you think she's referring to?
Right.
Her court,
Right.
not herself. So even the royal plural still points to Allah speaking on behalf of a group. So you're stuck, man. Allah speaking in the plural. Ibn Taymiyyah even says that's because he's including the angels. And the royal plural also affirms that, because the royal plural is when a sovereign, a potentate, a sovereign speaks on behalf of his court that he represents. Yeah, there goes my ear again. Who the heck is that? Here, I wrote an article on it. Allah's divine counsel. Here it is. Let me send it to you. I'm sending it to Alishir so you can post. So everyone's clear so far, or did I lose you guys?
Yeah, no, clear. And that royal plural, that also suggests shirk again, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, because yeah, he's right. Because why would you include created beings alongside of yourself and ascribe your action to theirs? For example, I'll give you an example of what I mean. If you ever read Ibn Kathir, his exposition of 66:12 and 21:91, where it says, and married the daughter of Imran who guarded her vulva vagina. That's a little Arabic, her private part. Farjaha. And we blew into it of our spirit. If you actually go read Ibn Kathir, they say the one who did the blowing was Gabriel. Gabriel blew into the khamis of Mary and it entered her private part. But the verse says Allah blew. But the commentators say it's Gabriel who blew. So now Gabriel's part of the we that blew.
Yeah. Wow.
You guys got it, right?
Yep.
Very clear. I've seen Shias, like include the imama part of the divine council, like meaning that they're infallible and they have the attributes of Allah.
That's why the Sunni accuse them of shirk. Right? The Sunni accuse them of shirk. But understand what I'm getting at. In the we of the Quran, Allah is including these angelic creatures alongside of him and ascribing his action to them. So they share in his action. So when it says, and we blew into her private part, you go and read the Muslim commentators and they say it. Look it up, I'm not making it. Gabriel is the one who blew. But in the verse it says we blew. And the we is supposedly Allah. So if you have Gabriel blowing, then that means Gabriel is now one of the we that Allah involved in this action of blowing the spirit into Mary.